Piers Morgan exchange with Yair Netanyahu, August 2025. Piers posted a BBC story about child casualties in Gaza and then called the IDF, with quotes, the most moral army in the world. Yair Netanyahu. This is medieval-style blood libels. You guys went full Nazi mode. I hope Qatar is paying you well. By the way, hasn't your brother served in Afghanistan and Iraq? Tens of thousands of innocent children were killed by NATO and the British Army there. Piers Morgan. Hi, Yair. When you've stopped spewing your usual extremist crap, can you ask your father to stop ducking my interview requests as he has done since October 7th? I have a few questions for him. Thanks. Yair extremist? You literally platform on your show every possible Nazi, anti-Semitic lunatic you find on Twitter. My dad don't do interviews for Hezbollah TV, Ayatollahs TV, etc. Why would he give an interview to the anti-Semitic Nazi version of the Jerry Springer Show? Yes, I know he gave you interviews before, but that was before you went full Nazi clown mode. Why won't you interview your boss, the Qatari dictator, about how he funds and hosts Hamas, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, and ISIS? About how it's a criminal offense in his country to practice Christianity, bring in a Christian Bible, or build a church? About how is it that being LGBT in his country is punishable by death? About how he holds millions of slaves, aka foreign workers, in his country and worked them to death before the World Cup? About how he's funding American Ivy League universities and washing the brains of American youth to hate America, Israel, and Christianity, and to burn American flags in their pro-Palestinian protests? Why won't you interview your brother and ask him why tens of thousands of civilians were killed by the British Army as part of NATO in Afghanistan and Iraq? Does it make the UK and NATO the bad guys and the Taliban and ISIS the good guys? Piers, you sound unhinged, Yair. But if you want to come on Piers Morgan and censored and defend your father, let me know. Yair. Oh wow, you destroyed my arguments. You call me unhinged. Come to the show to debate you plus 4 other anti-Semites clowns that will shout at me and won't let me say a word, like you did to Natasha Hostorf? Yeah, right. Piers, so you're bottling it? Okay. Yair, to be one person against 4 and not getting to speak a word, while only giving you clicks and rating from that circus. Yeah, I'll pass. Ask yourself, if Belgium was firing rockets on London and all major cities in the UK for 15 years, and then invade the UK, murder tens of thousands of Brits, raping and beheading babies, children and women, all while live streaming it, then kidnap thousands of British citizens, what would the UK do with Belgium? The numbers are in proportion to the population size differences of Israel and the UK. I don't know, but I do know that the UK invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, although they didn't do anything to the UK, and killed tens of thousands of civilians there, and that your brother took part in it. I also know the UK occupied a quarter of the globe and genocided the natives there. I do know that the UK was complicit with the Holocaust by refusing to give shelter to European Jewry anywhere in its empire, despite it covering a quarter of the globe, and by refusing to bomb even once Auschwitz or any other Nazi death camp. And I do know that Britain is on its way to become a Sharia Islamist state. Maybe then you'll understand Israelis better. Piers, like I said, come on Piers Morgan and Censored, and we can discuss your views. If you don't, everyone will know you're full of shit. Yair, like you discussed it with Natasha Hostorf, not a single pro-Israel guest on your show can speak more than 3 words. You think it's fair to have one person on one side of the debate and 3 people on the other side of the debate, while the moderator is siding with the other 3 and shout at the single pro-Israel guest and don't let him get a word out of his mouth? The way you treated Natasha Hostorf was appalling. She's an international law expert, polite, classy, British, and you didn't let her say a word because she's a Jew who supports the only Jewish state in the world. Piers, did I ask too many tough questions of a lawyer? I have many pro-Israeli guests who hold their own without whining about it. But don't worry, I can see you don't have the guts to come on the show yourself, so I'll leave you to howl on here like a deranged imbecile. Yair, the problem is not the questions you asked her, but that you didn't let her answer them.